Hello and welcome to MCC Third Season TV International Show. My name is John DeBeat and I'm the business coordinator here at MCC and also the host for this show. Today's show is a little bit different. Today I'm hosting someone who is not an international student but works very closely with our international student here. Let's welcome Jennifer Parker. She is the CCID International Student Coordinator at MCC. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
How are you today?
Doing great,
Good.
thanks.
Jennifer, let's start by asking you to introduce yourself, please, to our audience.
I'm Jennifer Parker. I'm born and raised in the Quad Cities and kind of got into working with international students when I lived in Chicago. I worked for Six Flags Great America and I recruited students to come from countries all over the world to come and work and have an American experience. And then moved back to the Quad Cities and kind of got on at Muscatine Community College and started coordinating the program here.
That's good. It's good to have you here at MCC. Also, it's good to have you on the show today. Jennifer, give us an idea about CCID. I mean, because sometimes, you know, we use letters like that and our audience might not relate to what CCID stands for.
CCID is Community Colleges for International Development. What their focus is to bring students and colleges together from all over the world in that community college area. So many of international organizations focus on higher education, students coming to universities like Iowa State and U of I, but this focuses on those schools, on those students that are the community college students, and then also opening community colleges in other countries, giving students access to that community college education to make it accessible to everybody. So that's kind of their main focus.
That is good. Now, we do have like several international students this year, but also in previous years, we had also many students that comes from different countries too. Can you give us some idea about countries? I mean, what countries do we deal with so far?
The CCID organization for the CCI program, which is the Community College Initiative, which is the students that we have on campus here. There's countries, the main country is Egypt. There's a big partnership with Egypt. Pakistan, Turkey, Brazil, Nicaragua, Indonesia, Panama, El Salvador, I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but a wide variety of students from all over the world. Kenya, Ghana, Cameroon, and Africa. And so it's a very eclectic bunch and it brings such a wonderful community to our students and also for themselves to meet people from different parts of the world.
And it's, you know, I'm sure you noticed that too. I mean, since we became involved with this CCI and CCID, I mean, start bringing students here. I mean, really, our campus is more colorful. That's why I say, I mean, you know, to walk around and see international students around, dealing with our natives here, talking, using their language, sometimes dressing up in their native heritage dress and so on, it adds really a lot to our students' experience. And I'm sure you are having fun dealing with all this, right?
Yes.
Keeps you busy, right?
It does, it definitely does that.
Yeah. Give us some ideas about what they do activity-wise throughout, like not necessarily just this year, I mean throughout like the past 2-3 years.
Yep. Some of the main activities that our students in the CCI program focus on is internships and then also community service are two main components of the program that they do. The internship is unpaid. It's typically, our students have worked at the MCSA in the computer labs, at the Chamber of Commerce, at the State Farm Office. So it's kind of a wide variety of things that they focus their internships on. Working on farms, we had students at Sweetland and also at the at various farms around the community. For the community service, they do the United Way Day of Caring. They do the bell ringing for the Salvation Army. They help clean up around campus, volunteer at the YMCA. We had students in the past who coach soccer because you know that's big in their countries. And so those are some of the official activities that they are involved in. Some of the fun activities, they've gone paintballing. They go go-karting with the Student Senate. They go to Fun City. Some of our students are involved in the choir, so they were in the variety show. They jump in and they get involved with so many things. It's kind of hard to keep track of all of it. That's why I make them fill out forms.
Yeah, and I agree with you because I really see them like they are really very active. I mean, I was surprised this year, for example, and last year. Some of your students, got involved also with Student Senate. Like this year, we had 3 of them are on Student Senate now as a freshman senators. And that's really, I think, it adds something to even the way we work as a student government or Student Senate here, because when you bring the international aspect to the group, yes. That's always good to see them around and deal with them. So mainly, what do you do with them, like on a daily basis? Do they come to your office? You talk to them? Can you describe like a day for us?
My main purpose here is to make sure that they're not only enjoying themselves, but they're successful while they're here. So a lot of our focus is on classes. Are they getting the classes that they need for their education and that they want as well, that's going to help them when they return home in their chosen field of study, which at MCC we focus on business, agriculture, and information technology. So a lot of our talks are about classes. How are you doing? Do you need extra help? Study groups, tutors, things like that. Other things are, again, the community service and the internship. They do come to my office. I have candy, so they always come in for candy, which is a good way just to, catch up with them and see how they're doing personally, how their families are doing, how they're adjusting. So yeah, just on a day-to-day basis, it's just very a casual relationship. How are you doing? I'm good. They always ask how I'm doing, how my family's doing, and vice versa. So it's basically just me working with them, not over them or anything. We work together to make sure that their experience here is successful and happy, and that they have everything that they need.
And I agree with you. Because that makes their experience even more pleasant here. Jennifer, let me ask you about a different question about like the community involvement with this group. I know that they have some sort of like a mentor type program. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Yes, of course. The mentor family portion of this program is probably one of my favorites. I think it's the most beneficial one for them, in my opinion. What it is it's similar to a host family that most people know about, where you have a student from another country come and stay with you. They don't live with you, but they're part of your family. They come for holidays. If you're going to the movies, if you're going to Walmart, it's just kind of a friendship family, a home away from home, a family away from your family. And it's just another support system for them, another way to meet American people, to be involved and see what our daily life is like. And they really form lasting bonds. We've had mentor families that have traveled to Egypt to see their students that they've had. And it's just really a great part of the program. It gives them such a sense of home and well-being and support.
And yeah, I agree with you. And I think the sense that they are not here just for 1 year. I think when they come here, as you mentioned, and they start forming this kind of friendship, these friendships continue. As you said, some mentor families travel and visit some of these people. But what really amazes me the most is that they continue the communication. I still hear from good number of them all the time on Facebook, emails, and so on. And that's really a very nice thing to talk about and to be proud of your work here with them also, and the college work with our international students, because that's really a very important thing to do. Soon, our producer, Chad Bishop, will start bringing some pictures about some of those activities, some of those students and student members or international student members. And at some point, we're going to start asking you, and I see the first picture here. So if you can just give us some idea about each picture.
This is this year's students that are currently on campus. We went to the Abraham Lincoln Museum and Tomb in Springfield. And so this is a picture of them rubbing his nose for good luck. It was a really good trip. It was a lot of fun.
That's good. I can see they're very happy.
Yes. These are students we had a couple years ago. That is Rodrigo from Brazil, and that is at Fun City. They went with the Student Senate, sponsors them every year, and they love it. It's a great time for them just to kind of relax and get to know other students on campus and have some fun. This is Rahish from Ghana. She is on campus this year. This is at the United Way Day of Caring. We were working at, I believe her name was Mary Ella. She is over 100 years old, and we were helping her with yard work.
Oh, well, and she's very happy right
yes.
here.
She loves the sweep.
Big smile. Yeah, that's good.
This is Luis. He is from Brazil. He is also a student that is currently on campus. This was his first time ever going grocery shopping by himself. So that's why I love this picture. He is usually comes, from his family. They go together, or his mother does it. So this was his first time going grocery shopping and buying groceries all on his own. These are students from last year. We went to a Mallards game. So you can see we get out into the community quite a bit. And this was a guy dressed like Spider-Man that they thought was hilarious. So they wanted to have a group picture. And that was a really fun night. We actually had a couple members of CCID were with us that evening at the Mallards game in the Quad Cities. This is one of my favorite pictures. These are our 3 girls that we had our very first year of the program. And Isna in the black was from Indonesia, and the other 2 girls are from Egypt. And that is in our library. And I just think it's a great photo of the girls, and Ronnie in the middle, and then Raja on the end in the tan color. So that was just a great picture of different cultures. As you can see, the 2 women from Egypt, obviously there are different religious beliefs. And so you have different countries, different religious beliefs, and all here at Muscatine. This is at Six Flags. Again, we're out in the community waiting to get on the Superman roller coaster. And that is Whitney and Aftab. Whitney is from South Africa, and Aftab was from Pakistan. And that was a great day of just nothing but fun. Again, students from our very first year. There's a couple of them in there. And this was for, I believe, the United Way Day of Caring, Habitat for Humanity. They actually were building a house. And they really thought that it was cool to see how that was done here in America, and kind of got to use hammers and nails and paint and all of that stuff. And so that was a really great experience for them. Ahmed and Mohammed decorating a Christmas tree, which is probably the first time and the only time they may ever do that. They are from Egypt. And so I think it really just shows how our cultures can come together, and they can, even it might not be a religious view that they have, they are still participating and learning and enjoying with their mentor families. Yeah, you can see these are students from 2 years ago. And they do go through our graduation ceremony. Many of them earn certificates in business and IT. And as you can see, many of them are also inducted into Phi Theta Kappa, which is the Honor Society. So they're not only here just for fun, they really do study hard and earn certificates and honors while they're here.
Well, thanks for sharing all these pictures with us about, as I said, great group to have at MCC, great group also to have them also. And I had some of them in my classes. And as you said, academic-wise, they are really very strong. I mean, they come from really a very strong academic background. And even, the language might be a barrier sometimes, but I see them, they work very hard to do very well in the classrooms, and that's really a great thing always to hear about them and deal with them. Jennifer, question, I noticed over the years, we are getting students from different countries, but also different ages. Mm-hmm. They are not like our 18 years old traditional students. So can you talk a little bit about, their age and why, for example, they are not 18? Because some of them, I think, they finish a degree before they come here and so on.
What the focus of the CCI program, the Community College Initiative, is to bring students from other countries that fall in that same demographic as a community college. We have students here that are not 18. It's the same thing with the CCI program. They're chosen based on, they do have to fill out applications, they do have to go through interviews, and they're chosen by a panel, the interviews are done all in English, so they do have to show that they do have some English ability, speaking ability. And they're chosen, it's typically considered the underserved of their population, which means women is a big target market for the program. Students who may not have higher education in their villages, in their communities, or may not be able to afford higher education. That being said, many of our students are very, very strong academically, have a lot of ambition, are very driven, so they do come here having worked very hard to earn the education that they already have. So for example, some of our students come to us with business degrees, and so, but they want to come here so that they can learn the language better, learn how to coexist in an international community, so that they can take that home and better not only their lives but their family lives as well. So they're chosen on their academics, on their leadership ability, on their ideas of what they want to do when they return home, and things things of that nature, just kind of how they want to share their culture and things like that. So it is very intensive. Only, I would say a third of the people who interview or who apply get chosen. And so it is very competitive, and I think we do get the best of the best.
Yeah. And I'm glad to hear that from you. I'm glad to. How about the CCID conference? I assume you participate in that conference every year. Give us an idea about that conference. What do you do there when you guys meet from all over the United States? What kind of issues do you discuss?
The CCID conference in general is a way to bring international educators together to talk about how to improve things, how to fix things, new ideas, and just kind of a general international community. And so that's what the overall issue, or the overall thing for the CCID conference. We also meet as program coordinators for an entire, usually it's like 2 days, where we sit and we just go over everything that's happening on our campuses, best practices, things that we're dealing with, and how are you handling these issues so I can better deal with it on my campus. The things that usually come up are English levels. Students, their English might not be as strong. How do we help them while we still keep them in their program classes? How do we help them with their English and still help them be successful in their business or agriculture or IT classes? Other things are integrating the students into campus. Sometimes you have this bunch of students like we have this year who jumps right in, who is not afraid, they want to be involved in everything. And then other times you have students that are shy and who are a little more reserved and who aren't quite as confident to just jump right in and make new friends. So how to integrate the students into our daily lives and into our campus community. Those are the biggest things that we talk about. We also talk about, there's a global leadership aspect of the program, which is a main focus along with the internships and the community service. What we want to do is give them the tools and the learning experiences that they need to go home and be a global leader. So anything from conflict management to motivating others, to listening to others' ideas and implementing those ideas, things like that. So we talk a lot about what are you doing this year that's really helped, what has not been successful for you within the community or within the global leadership programming, and try to come to a kind of a general consensus to where it's kind of done the same way on each campus, so each student that leaves is leaving with the same skills.
For example, let's say, beside attending their classes and participating in activities, are they participating in some extra workshops? For example, as you mentioned, let's say in terms of, time management, in terms of how to become a leader or a good leader and so on. Are they doing things like that too?
Yes, we have weekly meetings, and in some meetings we talk about what's going on, what do we need, is your refrigerator working, things like that. In other meetings we talk about test taking skills. We're coming up onto finals, and so yesterday they had a workshop on how to take tests and getting rid of that test anxiety. We've also, next week they will have a workshop on conflict management in personal and professional life. We've had workshops on time management where we watch a video and then we answer questions on how do you manage your time and how can you improve that. We also focus on strategic learning, how to get the best results out of the time that you study. Again, motivating others, resume building, interviewing skills, planning your future as far as how to come up with a job search plan, and things like that. The United Way comes in and speaks to the students about why it's important to volunteer and how you can implement volunteering activities in your country and in your community. So it's a year-long program. It's usually, again, very casual, so it's entertaining. And they learn a lot of different things. And at the end of the year, they do receive certificates saying that they fulfilled personal development and professional development skills.
And I just listening and sitting here and listening to you talking about all these aspects of the program, I mean, what a rich program. I mean, that's really, I mean, as you said, and I think really, I mean, those who got chosen to become part of this program are really lucky ones, because I mean, if they go through all these kind of trainings, I can imagine like how all these kind in class, out of class, community service, and so on, build their personality in the future and hopefully makes them very successful in their homeland and in their native countries. That's really an amazing, to share all this information with our audience. And many thanks, for you, first of all, for working with them, and two, for sharing this information also with us and with our audience. Jennifer, I want to give you like a minute or two, and you are free to say whatever you want to say. And if you need our audience also to know more, if you like them to get involved more in the community, and maybe some people who are watching this show get some ideas to share with you, things like that, whatever you want to share with.
Yeah, I think what's important for me, for the community to know, is how involved our students are in the community and in our just general economy as well. They are here to study. They're here to learn. We go shopping here. We're involved in community service. They graduate with certificates and honors. I think that is such a huge thing, that these students are not just here to play. They're here to learn and to give back to our community. If people are interested in being mentor families, I encourage them to reach out to me or to you, and then you can forward them to me, just so that they can get involved. And even with if they have high school students or junior high students in their home, if they just want to invite them over for dinner, just to kind of meet and experience what that is. Because one of the main things on our campus that our American students say is, well, I just met somebody from Cameroon. I didn't even know where that was until I met Gilbert from Cameroon. And I think that's an incredible experience. I encourage you to come to our Diversity Day, which is usually in April, and meet our students, get to know them. Again, I think it's just the community reaching out to them to let them know that they're excited to have them here and to learn about them, because they're very excited to share about their cultures and where they're from, and I guess that's it.
Thank you. It's really a pleasure to have you here on the show today, Jennifer. And also it's great to sit and listen to all the information that you are sharing with me and with our audience. I think it's very important for our community to know really about what we do here at MCC when it comes to the international area of MCC and the globalization, and how we are well involved really in too many programs, even though we are very small college versus bigger universities and so on. So with that, as I always say, if you have any question and or comments, you can call me at excuse me 288-6064, or you can email me at jdabit@eicc.edu. Till next time, Muscatine. Bye bye.